Assalamu alaikum. My name is Abdul Haq. My name at birth was Jeffrey S. Laser. I was born in this country, in New York City, and I am from 3/4 Ukrainian background. My fourth grandparent came from the former Austria-Hungary, and I was born into a Jewish family, Jewish-American family. I became a Muslim in 1979. Most of my family had a negative reaction, but most of them are relatively tolerant people. So the hostility was not too strong. They did not try to force me to stop being a Muslim, but they did try to convince me to turn back. When I first heard about Islam from Muslims that I met, I began studying different religions because I wanted to find out what the real truth was. At the time that I heard about Islam, I had become very secular. In fact, I didn't even believe in God at that time. And I was talking with Muslims that made me start rethinking this whole thing. I had drifted away from religion because I was looking for something that would solve the political, economic, and social problems of society, and I didn't find this in religion. So I was more attracted to Marxism as a form of solution to that. And I became secular. And when I met Muslims, I started to hear things that convinced me that there might be another alternative. First, that God could be proven to be real, and second, that there were solutions from Islam to the political, economic, and social problems of the society. So I spent several years studying different religions and spirituality and science and metaphysics in order to first find out, is there an unseen world? And after that, to compare the different religions to decide which religion I ought to be. When I started studying comparative religion and spirituality, I read excerpts from books from different religions. I read parts of the Old Testament for the Hebrew Scriptures, parts of the New Testament for Christianity. I also read some things about Hinduism and Buddhism and Taoism. I also studied meditation, and I took yoga, and all these things, and I studied parapsychology, the scientific study of extrasensory perception, or ESP, to find out about the unseen world. And when I became convinced of the existence of God, then I began going back to the scriptures, to the Jewish, Christian scriptures, and also the Quran. And I was more convinced by the Quran. I noticed not only did I prefer the Islamic belief system better for the reasons that I stated before, but also I found more answers to my questions in the Quran than in the Bible. I also found that Islam does not have a conflict with science, unlike, for example, the way the Catholic Church at the time of the Renaissance had a problem with science. I also liked the political views of Islam, that Islam believes in struggle against oppression and injustice. When I reached a certain point where I felt ready to prepare myself to convert, I first was invited by an old friend to accept Christianity, or to accept Jesus Christ. I did accept him because I already believed in him as one of the prophets. I found that I disliked the Christian belief system that the churches, or most of the churches, have, where they believe Jesus to be the Son of God and part of the Trinity, and so on. And Therefore, I was uncomfortable with Christianity. So I continued to prepare myself for Islam. I began to study how Muslims pray and how Muslims fast. And I began buying Islamic literature in Islamic bookstores. One day, in an Islamic bookstore in Brooklyn, I met an Imam Siraj Wahaj from Masjid Taqwa in Brooklyn, who invited me to take Shahada. I accepted because at that point I was ready for it, and I took my Shahada then. After that, I began to go around to different masajid and began to learn how to practice the deen. And I've been practicing since then. I was attracted to the Islamic belief system because in Islam we believe in all the prophets and all the books, and we believe that every nation had a prophet and that all the prophets taught the same message. This universal type of belief appealed to me very much because this means that religion is for everyone and prophets have been sent to everyone. Judaism does not teach this, and one of the things that I disliked about Judaism was that it seemed to separate Jews from other peoples a lot, and due largely to their belief system that all the prophets are for Israel, that the Israelites by ethnicity are the chosen people of God, and the prophets are all sent to them, and the scriptures are all sent to them. And so I was much more attracted to Islam because of the belief that the religion and the prophets are for all peoples, and all peoples can practice the same religion together, regardless of where they come from. This has made me feel satisfied that Islam is the religion that is the most complete, that includes all of the good things that all the religions have. Since accepting Islam, I have made it a point to visit quite a few masajid to find out what the different communities are like and how they practice Islam. I have avoided joining any sect. I prefer just to be a Muslim. I don't call myself even Sunni or Shia, although I follow Quran and Sunnah. I am presently working at a masjid in Midtown Manhattan, where I am right now, Masjid Uthman bin Affan. I have also made one Hajj. In 1990 I made one Hajj. I was sponsored by the Muslim World, and that was a very big event. I consider myself to be a better person now. I believe that Islam has helped me develop better character and to find more ways of expressing my spirituality. I am not married now, but I am looking for a wife. I would like to marry a believing woman, and inshallah, may Allah guide me to having a happy and successful and righteous marriage. So far, no one else in my family has become a Muslim. I did once, together with a Muslim friend, give a Shahada to a friend of mine from my pre-Islamic days. However, he did not stay in the deen. He began for a few days, and it didn't stick with him. No one else from among my friends or family have gone into Islam, but I have witnessed many shahadas in this masjid and other masajids. To sum up what I would advise other people, I would suggest that everyone should do some searching to establish the truth inside them, in their hearts. Now, it is important to have good belief in the things that we are taught in Islam, and to put them into practice. So people need to make an effort to educate themselves and to practice what we learn. I also I'm concerned about the need for Muslims to become more unified, because Muslims are very, very divided today. And we cannot be successful as an ummah when we are this divided. And eventually, inshallah, Islam hopefully will be revived to a high level like it once was, and then we will see a wonderful thing occur on the earth. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.